Now, I know I've talked about Whacked a ton of times here on the channel, specifically twice. Alright, in all seriousness, I've mentioned it a lot in passing and I've dedicated 2 whole videos to it, but you know what? I'm gonna talk about it again, because believe it or not, the video game Whacked is the #1 reason why this channel is here today. I'm well aware that early on I've told this story a couple times, but look at the subscriber count. I think we've grown a little bit since the first few months, so yeah, let's dive into this one more time officially for the record. So if you have been here since the beginning and you've already heard this story, or hey, maybe you even saw it happen live, then sorry for the repetition, don't worry, next week is going to be something entirely new. But for those of you who don't know what happened, let me clue you in. This is how the video game Whacked helped save Media Mementos. So first off, a bit of history from me, you know, the guy who's talking. Hello. I have always wanted to be a reviewer ever since I was young. When I was a little kid, I was never shy about letting my opinions be known, even if they were fairly controversial. But you know what? I didn't care. This is what I believed and I was gonna stand by it. So when I saw people like Ben the Looney or the Nostalgia Critic, yeah, that shows you how long ago this was, getting into the reviewing scene, I thought, hey, I can do the same! That can be me one day! And then I made these terrible, horrible, unspeakably bad reviews that I will not let see the light of day. Let's just say they were far from good. However, that was to be expected. I was what, like 12 when I made those? Here's a little tip for all of you out there who are 12 right now or maybe will be 12 one day. When you're my age, 23 years old, and you look back on the stuff that you made when you were 12, 9 out of 10 times you're gonna look back and think, oh no! What was I thinking? Ah! And that's putting it mildly. But of course, I learned that those reviews I was making were pretty lousy, so I reinvented my style again and again and again, trying to find some way to make my voice heard in a professional way that didn't make me cringe the moment I made a video. Because as time went on, my videos only marginally got more professional. They didn't really get that good. I mean, my opinions were sound and I was a lot better with voicing them, but when it came to the production values and presentation, I was not happy at all. I was doing this show called TV Talks that was the last review series I did before this. You can still find some of them online, even though I highly encourage you to not look them up, and now that I just said that, I'm sure that you're gonna do it anyway, so yeah, that's my fault entirely. I was definitely younger when I made those, but still, most of the opinions I have during those times I still hold today. However, I didn't really know how to make them good. And I was hoping that someday I could find a way to make them good, and then one day I just decided, hey, I'm gonna get really experimental with things and see how things go. And thus began the creation of the very first Media Mementos video ever, Leo No Arms Can't Fly.
I can fly! Leo No Arms can't get up.
Yeah, that wasn't the first Media Mementos video, that was actually the first video I ever posted, even though I was just the cameraman. Those were dark times, people, dark times of being a 10-year-old. No, the first video I made was called Baby Blues, Brilliant or Betrayal. Hey, you remember that one? I do, I made it. I was really fascinated with the Baby Blues cartoon for a little while, ever since TV Trash reviewed it, and then one day I decided, why not actually watch it? Because some of the clips that I saw were pretty funny out of context, but I'm sure in context they were really bad. And well, I had such a strange opinion that I decided to make a video about it, and it caught on decently well. My channel at the time had about 1,000 subscribers exactly, and it got like, what, 700 views, so I thought that was pretty good. So the next video I did was on Sweet Pea Beauty. Now I bet you're looking at the channel lineup and are wondering, hey, why isn't he talked about Whacked yet? That's the whole point of the video! But I'm sure you're also wondering, wait, that's not here in the original lineup. It goes Baby Blues, Brilliant or Betrayal, then ITV Digital. Sweet Pea Beauty doesn't happen till a lot later. Well, that's a long story, but in short, I made some VeggieTales content on my old channel and decided to make that review to get people more interested in the series. So I made that Sweet Pea Beauty video, thought it was pretty good, posted it, people loved it. But then because I got really bitter at that video for reasons that I'll explain later, I didn't post it for quite a while. Yeah, Sweet Pea Beauty was a big success, but I wasn't really focused on that. You see, before even Baby Blues came out, I was working on a video about this British cable company called ITV Digital. Now, I'm a proud American, but I love the story of ITV Digital. I found them through the ads, and then I started researching the story behind them, and then one thing led to another, and now I own this thing. Hello, monkey! I'm not kidding when I say I spent months researching this thing. What happened? Who did it affect? Who were the losers here? Were there any winners? And after a lot of research and editing, one of the videos I was the most proud of that I've made in my entire history of YouTube was finally ready to premiere. And guess what? It bombed miserably. Now, I know that it seems like, oh, people didn't watch it because it was ITV Digital. Who here has heard about ITV Digital? Well, that's not the case, actually. Because I was making a VeggieTales series that was in some way, shape, or form abridged, yeah, you can read between the lines there, I'm not exaggerating when I say that literally anything else I would make was getting ignored. Not only that, but people would go and comment on literally any other video I did, and would say things like, when's the next episode coming out? Why aren't you making more episodes? It drove me crazy. So imagine my horror and dismay when the first week after ITV Digital was posted, the top comment was, when's the next episode of VeggieTales Abridged? Yeah, I worked months and months to get that kind of response, and it really bummed me out. And it also made me really scared for the future because I was working on a video about a video game called Whacked. You ever heard of it? It just so happens to be the subject of the video that I'm only now bringing up. But that's because it only just now comes into the story. I was doing a similar deep dive into Whacked like I did with ITV Digital. Though of course, if you've seen that video, you'd know that there's far less scandal than with ITV Digital, so it was definitely going to be more of a how this got made and how it failed story. But the longer I spent researching and the longer I spent writing that script, I kept having these thoughts of, there's no way this is gonna do well. If ITV Digital failed with that thumbnail with a puppet, which a lot of my audience loved puppets, there was no way that this was gonna work. So to test it, I put out a little teaser trailer. And sure enough, a lot of people were just like, what's this? Or, when's the next episode of VeggieTales Abridged? So I knew that if I wanted these videos to have any kind of future, they could not, in any way, shape, or form, stay on the original channel. For once, I had found a review series that I was proud of, one that people were really liking. Those that were actually giving it a chance were saying that I was really gonna have something good on my hands if I just kept going on with this. And I believed them. I agreed, absolutely, and hey, look at where we are now. It was because I wanted Whack to succeed that I took all the videos down off of my original channel and made a completely new one to put there. And yeah, we had some other minor successes like Good Sports Gang, which to be fair was VeggieTales connected, so that's kinda why I think that one was successful, but anyways. Given the fact that it was going to be on an entirely new channel with maybe 10% of my original subscribers coming over to subscribe to it, this premiere for this major video was not necessarily going to be huge. But I didn't care. All I wanted was for the future videos that I had in mind to be huge. I had a lot of ideas, and I do mean a lot. To put it simply, some of the videos that came out this very year were created right at the very beginning. I'm serious. That's how on board I was with this idea. And it's all thanks to Whacked. If I didn't decide to take care of Whacked the way it should be, and if I didn't give it the proper love and care it needed, this probably wouldn't exist. You probably wouldn't have had any of these videos you see on screen right now. None of these would have existed. I was finally able to surround myself with a brand new audience that would actually give my content a chance, while also giving me some pointers so I could grow. Remember how bad my microphone was early on? It was estimated that around a third of their customer base would leave soon after. Yeah. I mean, it's not the best right now, but it's a far cry from whatever it was before. So that in a nutshell is why I hold Whacked so close to my heart. Well, I mean, that, and the fact that it's a really interesting game that's also a ton of fun to play with a fantastic art style, but still, Whacked is the reason I'm here today. So for those of you who really like my content, you know who to thank. Presto Studios. Except the fact that they're out of business right now, so, find some effigy or something, I don't know. Well, folks, thanks for watching the video. Yeah, that was kind of an abrupt end, but you know what? That's really all I can say about it. What'd you think of the video? Have you heard the story before? If not, what were your thoughts? Comment below and let me know, because I'm always excited to hear what you guys have to say. Real quick, I'd like to thank our Patreon executive producers, Leaf Razor, Rezeal, Sophie Burgers, Azarius, and Tanner Kapishki. If you too would like your name read at the end of every Media Mementos video, then consider donating to our Patreon, which has a link in the description below. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time!